All right, back to the phones in just a second here since I mentioned this. Denmark is one of these European Union countries that welcomed some of the Syrian refugees, the migrants, whatever. Not refugees. Maybe it's, what am I thinking? It's not immigrants, not illegal immigrants. Syrian, refugees. Anyway, they welcomed them in, along with Germany and a lot of other European countries. Because it was the compassionate thing to do. They're coming from strife and thirst and hunger and war-torn parts of their native homeland. They're just seeking a better life. And who are we to deny them the better life? Most of them are military-age young men. So they welcomed them in. And then the military-age young men, much as happened in Germany, Cologne, started sexually abusing a wide berth there of the female population, Germany and in Denmark and so forth. And the authorities in Germany and Denmark said, what do you guys do? You can't do that. And the migrants said, well, we're being invited to. I mean, these women are not wearing burqas, and they're coming up and they're shaking our hands, and they're where we come from. That's like saying, make a move on me. So both countries have been doing seminars, assuming it's their fault that the Syrian refugees are raping their women, and they've been doing seminars with these immigrants to tell them what's behaviorally permissible and what isn't. But now they have reached their limit in Denmark. They're getting close to it. The Danish parliament has backed wait till Bernie Sanders hears this, he's going to be flabbergasted. The Danish parliament has backed a controversial proposal to confiscate the possessions of asylum seekers to pay for their upkeep. Police will be able to seize valuables worth more than 10,000 kroner, which is about 1,340 euros, 1,000 pounds, from refugees to cover housing and food costs. Members of Parliament also approved plans to delay family reunions for asylum seekers. Family reunions? What the hell is that? Family reunions? Well, whatever, they canceled them. The bill has been widely criticized by human rights groups. The prospect of refugees having their possessions taken from them has drawn comparison to the confiscation of valuables from the Jews during World War II. The government has said that items of sentimental value, like wedding rings, will be exempt. They're not going to take those. It also raised the amount of refugees will be allowed to keep from 3,000 kroner to 10,000 following objections. Now, what do you think of this? Here come the refugees. Here come the migrants from war-torn Syria and elsewhere. And they immediately start taking things in your welfare state. I mean, you're feeding them, you're clothing them, you're housing them, you're quenching their thirst. And all of a sudden you realize you don't have the money for all this. So you know what? We're going to take some of their property to help pay for this. Why should we give it to them? This, to me, is landmark for socialist thinking. Socialists normally would write in for go tax everybody else, get money necessary to feed, clothe, and otherwise take care of the refugees. But instead, they are essentially telling the refugees, hey, if you come here, you're going to pay for it yourself. And if you don't have the money, we're going to take what you have. We're going to steal, confiscate your valuables. And the UN is on record as hating this. Socialists around the world quoted in this story are conflicted. But Denmark has had it. And I find it fascinating. Sweden is the other place that momentous things are happening. Sweden may reject the asylum applications of up to 80,000 migrants and should prepare to deport them, says the Swedish Interior Minister. Some 163,000 migrants applied for asylum in Sweden in 2015. That's the highest per capita number in Europe. The numbers have fallen significantly since Sweden imposed tighter border controls. Of the approximately 59,000 asylum cases processed in Sweden last year, 55% were accepted. The others were told, see you later, but you can't come in. And now they are preparing to reject 80,000 more for the usual reasons. They can't afford it. They don't trust the people who have shown up. So all of this left-wing socialism is collapsing on itself under the pressures of dire reality.